Hi everyone. Making sure everything is working how it's supposed to be working everywhere, all at once. Let's see if I can increase this. Okay, so we are live for another Transformative Tuesdays, where I come to you guys live and we have a conversation. And I dropped some gems and some little pieces of like knowledge and sauce and special remedies and all these things that are going to help you do something better, right? Do life better, do profession better, do personal better. Um, and so I'm so excited to be here. Happy Tuesday, guys. I hope you're having a great morning. I hope you are feeling replenished and recharged. I hope you've done all your morning routines and rituals and you're in a receptive mood. So, what has been on my mind to talk about today specifically has been a sense of purpose. Mostly because in my communities, Life Balance Blueprint and Elevation Experience, we're talking about purpose, and it's interesting how purpose impacts leaders, and how sometimes when you're navigating business, you can get disconnected from it because of all of the things you have to manage on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're like a solopreneur or you have a small to moderate sized team. The things you notice are just a little bit different. And what I often find myself having to give back to people is a reconnection with their purpose, right? Like I'm always having to, when my leaders have challenges and when they're overcome with things, or like people in my life coaching program, Life Balance Blueprint, when they're having like life things come up and life is lifing, or it's getting to be a lot for them, it can often be like, I always hear them say, like my life has no purpose, has no meaning. And even if that's not true, for like actually true, because we've done the work to do it, people kind of always find themselves back to that. And so I wanted to have a conversation about purpose and like what it means, how to create more room for it in your life. And then, once I get all those things out, really going to doing a quick tapping or so to give you guys something to take back to nourish yourselves with. Um, so that's what we're gonna do today. So welcome in the room. Say hello to me in the chat. Um, yeah, let me know what's up, right? Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and all those things. So, okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to speak. I'm Tanisha York Allen. I'm the CEO and founder of Your Other Mind. I am a coach and strategic operations consultant. Um, been doing that for some time. And um, if you're new to my world, then you might not already know this. But if it's not your first time, your first rodeo with me, then you know that I always speak blessings over anything that I do. It's non-denominational. It is just to bring in your attention and your focus into this present moment and this now. And so I'm going to do that. Okay. So it looks like this. Mother, Father, God, I want to thank you for allowing us to be here in the now. I ask that all people watching this live, replay, clips, whatever, that they are centered now, that they find and understand that they are in the perfect moment, at the perfect place and time. That whenever this comes across their feed, it is the moment that is most for them. Allow the people in this audience and the people here with me to not only be tuned in and tapped in, but to be receptive. Put them into receptive mode. Let their hearts be open, their minds be open, just for a new level of like clarity for themselves. Let all voices, all people, all spirits and beings and angels commune into this space, to give us things that we need to make our impact quicker, greater, and with more ease. This is something more for the highest of all souls and spirits that we're destined to impact, including and especially our own. And with that, we say amen, ashe, or so it is. Okay, so let's talk about this big, lofty topic of purpose. Okay, so I don't like to do, well, you might not know. I don't like to do anything. I don't like to use language incorrectly. In a former life, even this present life, right? Like I spend a lot of time writing things, and I'm a writer at heart. I am a teacher at heart, and so I think that in this law, in this world of like energy and energetics and all these things, I train my clients like you have to use words with a purpose, right? Like you have to know what things mean when you're using them. You have to let them, because did you mean this or did you mean that? And depending on your connotation or the actual definition, you could be like speaking all types of foolishness over what you're doing, simply because you don't know what something means. And so, for those of you who are new to my world, I want to just like kind of wrap that up, right, and tell you the definition. So, when we're talking about this conversation of purpose, it makes a lot more sense in a very real way. So, purpose can be defined as an intended or desired result, an end, an aim, a goal, right? Determination, resoluteness, um, like practical result, right? It has a different, the literary, and this is another one, from Merriam-Webster, right? Something set up as an object or an end to be attained, right? Intention. So, if you're in my universe, you already know that like nothing that you do is random. Everything that we do as people is connected to like the greater good of all, right? Or it's connected to other people. Like humans are really much designed to be in community with other humans. It's something that we have seen scientifically proven. It's something that we have seen and know of ourselves to do. And with that being said, what I tell people is that their entire aim, their purpose is to do that thing that they are here to uniquely do. And you'll hear people in marketing talk about this, right? Like they'll talk about like your unique advantage or your unique ability. I've seen that word used in the big leap. You'll hear people try to get down to the specificity of like who, right, and what you can do uniquely, right. And the reason why, separate from like a marketing thing, the reason why you want to be able to get to that purpose, that root of what you're doing, is because if you can understand the motivations of why you show up, it makes it easier to show up. So a lot of us go to work or do our thing that we do professionally because we were taught to do that. We were saying like, okay, society, we have these rules. These rules in society include being present to go to work. Like that is my job. I go to school when I was a kid, I learn, I go to college, or I go to work. That like to be a good community member of society, I guess, that we have to show up to some professional advantage, and do that thing. And I'm here to tell you that yes, that is true. We do contribute to the impact of other people. It's not so much true in the way that you've learned it. So your purpose is about making an impact, right? This is what I teach. This is what I know to be true. That every unique person that was created on this earth is here to not only master life and master like their journey, and get better at like emotional intelligence and do all these things, but it's also to make an impact, right? That like when someone meets me, I have hope to have an impact on them that'll have an impact and ricochet for like years and years and years. That's what we're all here to do. And because we have this work society, this professional society where we're like, I gotta go to work, what you find is like people end up in these jobs that they hate, or these businesses that they hate, or these careers or vacations that they hate, right? And they feel so detached from, and it's because they don't understand what their purpose is. And so, what I teach people is that whatever you do professionally, whatever it is that you do in work or whatever, that's not the end all be all. Like, your purpose is not to work. The work or the profession is just the vehicle through which you make your impact, right? It's not about let me get this job so that I can go to work, collect a paycheck, and like live a life. That's one way to do life, but it'll find if you live your life that way, you'll find yourself in a rut, like a routine, in a wheel in the machine, right? Just keeping the ideas going of what our society has been. And that model still works for some people. But then there's like this whole other set of people where that model doesn't work for anymore. Because people are looking to have impact. We're looking to be helpful and assist other people in their journeys, right? And I like to believe that when source, spirit, God, whatever you use, when they created this world that we live in, that was their whole like jam, was to like benefit this person and benefit that person. And so the more of you that you can do to reconnect with and figure out your purpose, the better of a time you're going to have. Because again, whatever you do professionally is just a vehicle. It's not meant, it was never meant to be the end all be all. We made it into the all because of things like the Industrial Revolution and like the way that our society came together, but it was never meant to be that. So if your work, if you are feeling disconnected from your work, right, I can almost bet that you have disconnected from the larger impact that you're here to make. And so now you have probably made what you're doing the reason why you're doing, or the reason why you're doing what you're doing, right? And it's like, no, you didn't get up to just, you didn't come here to just work. You came here to be so much you, right? So much of the person and the being that you actually are, right? And in being you, you are going to be led and inspired to like find different pieces of inspiration and to act on those pieces of inspiration. And acting on those pieces of inspiration, right, is what happens when someone wants to go to get a raise or get a promotion or like start a business, right? You're acting on pieces of inspiration that say, okay, well, this thing might be the vehicle through which I do X, which is my purpose, my impact. And so the quicker you can get at creating time and room for yourself to define that purpose, to really sit with yourself and say, okay, what am I here to do? What am I here to have? And who am I here to be? The quicker you can find that you'll close some loops and start to infuse those things in your work. So, in my universe, we use a lot of different tools. A lot of you know, like, in strategic operations, I'm like, let's build products, let's get them to the finish line, let's scale, right? The way I do that is unique in the sense that I like to give people their purpose, their reason. And so some of the tools that I use for that are numerology, human design, gene keys, things that talk about the energetic data and energetic capital of a person when they were created. And using that information, I then help my clients, whether it's in their career, like if they work somewhere, whether it's in their business, I help them take who they are, right, and turn on those pieces so they can show up to that playing field in as their own best version of themselves, right? Because what you have to do is separate like the work that you're doing from the reason why you're doing it, right? And if you can align yourself with the reason why you like this thing, the reason why you want to be in this place, the reason why, and use that as a driver, you'll find that you'll be more successful in whatever field you chose. So this might look like this. I had a client, she's in, or I had a client who's like an HR executive. Like, so this person still has a job, right? And they very much have a job, but they want to make their impact bigger, which is why they sought me out, right? So there's like this entrepreneurial aspect to them. And it's great and it's dope and it's wonderful. And what we're going to do with this person is unpack why they went into HR, right? Even when I have my clients like the 12-week year as part of their business strategy, right? Why are you doing the thing that you do? And someone who's in HR might say, I'm doing this to give people, when I enter this space to give people a voice. Okay, a voice to do what? Tanisha, I really wanted people to like be able to go to work and be themselves and show up huge. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good reason. That sounds like a really great goal. So that's a definition, right? Your object or end to be attained is that these people will be themselves. right? They'll have a way for them to be themselves. And so my question to them might be, okay, well, how many ways of can you do this thing, be this version of yourself, and create room for this outcome that you're seeking, right? As yourself. And that is kind of like what opens the gate for like an offer creation or a way they would like to pivot in their career, right? It's like you have to be clear about the breakdown of the work, because if you let yourself stick into the machine of like work and collective consciousness, then you'll find yourself burnt out, tired, unmotivated, and completely disconnected from everything that you're doing. And so the whole point of purpose is that you find out why you do what you do, and you do it on a more grand scale, and you do it to the best of your abilities, right? So I'll use myself as an example. I teach better through my own example. Some of my energetic data says that it says something to the effect of, Tanisha's here to help millions overcome fear, right? Through the advanced expertise of a thing, right? Well, my background is strategic operations. I'm all strategy all day, but I'm here to help people overcome fear. So, like, why do I have the programs that I have? How did I create that? Because, okay, elevation experience, there's a lot of things that slow entrepreneurs down. There's a lot of things that slow companies down from growing. And usually it's just the unknown, right? They can't um, gauge like outcomes and probabilities well, and so they struggle. And when you can't gauge probabilities well, that is a energetic way of fear, right? Because why can't you see the future that you set out for yourself, right? It's like this fear is in the way, and so I don't know that I can do it, and so I don't do it, right? And elevation experience is one vehicle through which I enact my purpose into the world, right? And then you have like life balance blueprint, right? My purpose is to help people overcome fear. Well, one of the main things that keeps people from having a magnificent life and having balance, and not even like work life balance, but real energetic balance where their life feels like a movie, right? What keeps people from doing that is fear. So, a vehicle through which I help people overcome their fears is through this program, because they can get a better life for themselves. They can get that down. They can get those life fears out the way and have their own needs met. Then that person can do whatever they're here to do, right? And that's that first step, right? And so this is what I'm talking about. Being able to clearly separate or really look at the work that you have done and why you have always done it, and then tune in with your own spirit, which we talk about. Tune in with your own spirit to clarify that. Then you can look back at the work that you do, whatever it is, career or entrepreneur or side hustle, right? And you can say, okay, this is my purpose. I know my purpose is here to do X, right? And if you don't know how to get to that X, you need to find an expert that can help get you there. Because the time of work or professional advancement that looks like I go to work, I turn the machine, I'm part of the machine, that time is over. We're in a time of like creativity. We're in a time where people care about each other, and I can't care about you and not care about myself, which means I have to know myself enough to actually care about what you have going on. Because if I don't know myself enough, then how could I ever assist you? How could I ever be impactful to you? How could I ever inspire you to go do that thing that you're supposed to do? And ideally, I'm not without my things as my founder and CEO, but I'm also a massive spiritualist and a spiritual strategist, right? You got to know what you're doing and what you're here to do and who you're here to contribute to. And you have to be able to separate so very clearly the things that you have to offer, the things that you do from who you are, right? And being able to like find the sweet spot of that in there, that is going to be major key if you're going to seek and really have the outcomes that you're looking for as far as success is concerned. So I don't remember what I said in the comments of the yeah, we'll talk about having a sense of purpose in your work. That's how you have purpose in your work, right? So if you journey off course, if you find yourself feeling unstable at work or a little burnt out or a little bit not really grounded in what you're doing, and you don't really know why you're doing it anymore, it's probably a good time to like go internal and say, okay, so what's happening? What's my purpose? What do I think it is? What is it actually? And have I been living that? And if you haven't, then it's time for you to reactivate that by having conversations with yourself, by meeting leaders. Like if you have a goal of like hitting $10,000 in sales this month, but you feel burnt out, homegirl, homeboy, I need you to slow down and go and figure out what your purpose is. Because I can almost guarantee you that you are not being in alignment with what you're here to do and how you're here to contribute to others. Okay? And it's weird. Like I think the number one thing that I see when I first meet people when they first want to become a client of mine, that's what they've been doing. They tell me why they've been doing it, and I look at the energetic data and I'll be like, okay, so what about this? Where is this piece? Oh well, you know, and that's like a whole nother thing of like their fears and their doubts that have kept them from going in this way. And then we clarify that, right? We take that stuff, that thing that they left on the table, and we say, okay, now this is your full purpose. Now go and act that. What vehicles do you want to do? Great, go do it. Then I get reports and information like updates like, oh my God, Tanisha, in a week I closed this sale, and in a week I did this. It literally always happens. So the message of this Transformation Tuesday is to get clear on your purpose. Use different tools. They have plenty of them. Some by psychologists and some that are old sciences, like an astrology or like a numerology, which is what I choose to use. Right? Like use tools, Clifton Strengths that will start to point you back to what you are here to do. In my world, again, we use spirit energetics. We use energetic data to like show you who you are, show you what your impact is meant to be, so that you can do that. And wherever you haven't been doing that, we turn those pieces on so you can get to that place quickly. So that's the message part. So now we're gonna do a quick tapping around purpose. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick tapping around purpose. Okay. So if you never tapped with me before, you're just gonna follow, do what I do. That's simple as put. Do what I do, repeat after me. So I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna tap on some places, and you're gonna do what I do and say what I say. And that's as simple as tapping is. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths. Exhale. Another one. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. We begin. Side of the hand. Even though I don't feel connected to my work right now, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been feeling disconnected for some time, like I may not know what my purpose is, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. And even though I don't have a clear idea of my purpose, and it makes me a little uncomfortable, I choose to love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Top of the head. I don't know what my purpose is. I just know that I want to make a bigger impact. Lately, I've been feeling disconnected, and like the work that I'm doing has lost some meaning. But I don't know why, and that frustrates me. The work I'm doing is work I have always loved, but it just isn't hitting the same way. And I want to be, you're hitting underneath the arm, and I want to be reignited, reconnected, and activated. Top of the head. And I just don't know where to start. I wish I knew my purpose. I wish I knew my purpose at this moment in time. Why am I experiencing these delays? Why am I experiencing these hiccups? I've done all this work already. I don't want to do it again. And so I'm frustrated, but I'm going through the motions anyway. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself now. Top of the head. You can't fix what you don't know is broken. And I'm not saying I'm broken. I'm just saying I feel disconnected. But the disconnection still feels frustrating. I want my work to be amazing again. I want to feel deeply connected and deeply creative. But this day to day, it has really knocked me off my block. And so I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get that spark back and how to make my impact. And I love, honor, and accept myself anyway. Positive round. My purpose is more than my work. And I am connected to the truth of that. My purpose is unique to me. And that gives me the right to go bigger. I am uniquely crafted to do so much more than I let myself do. And I'm ready to let myself have it all now. I give myself permission to show up big and making the full impact that I'm here to make. Even if it's wild and crazy, even if no one gets it, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. My time is now. My purpose is active now. And I let myself have access to the truth of me now. I know what my purpose is. And I now allow myself to receive that truth. And I'm so grateful for everything that I received today. It is all of our destiny and mine to do what we do best. And I allow myself to do that now. Take a deep breath. Now this is the mini tap, so it should be a really nice refresher for some of you who may have been struggling or having a really hiccupy week. I don't really know. but it's going to be a great opportunity to go ahead and just like refresh yourself. And then the last thing I have for you guys today is I am doing a webinar this Thursday, which is the second, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, called Purpose and Plan. And I want to invite you guys to it. So I have the links all around here on Facebook, LinkedIn, different places. So please make sure that you join me for this webinar, which is really going to be like a live training because I don't know how to talk to people on the internet and not solve things. This week's topic specifically is how to like shed the corporate mentality to do what you are here to do. So purpose and plan, shedding the corporate mentality to show up and do whatever it is that you do in the name of work, in the name of professional aspirations, all that and more. So I hope to see you on Thursday. Registration link is there. You'll find it on the internet streets. And yeah, have a great, transformative, um, and loving and kind Tuesday. Okay. See you guys later. Peace.